So welcome viewers and good afternoon. Welcome to Career Pathshala and which has been a very good journey so far. And today we have with us Mr. Saurabh Jain, our main speaker for the day on data science and NLP. We also have with us a very popular and very known face in the education industry of in the education world of computer science, not only in the state of Madhya Pradesh but across India, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma sir, who has been who is the director of School of IT RGPV, the State Technical University of MP. I really and also we have Shikha, our student representative, representing all of you. And on behalf of Career Pathshala, CII, Young Indians, Rajiv Gandhi Pradyogi Vishwavidyalaya, and LNCT, and all the students, all the colleges of Madhya Pradesh, and all across 50 cities of the country, all the Yuvas, we welcome you, Saurabh Jain sir, and Dr. Sanjeev Sharma sir, and also Shikha on the show of Career Pathshala. It has been just 20 minutes before that I spoke to Sanjeev sir, and I said, sir, I was missing something in my show, and I realized that it was you probably whom I was missing. And with all the IT talks happening, I was just missing an expert from academia. तो he said कि अनुज बताओ मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. मैंने कहा सर it's very awkward. In 15 minutes we'll go live. बोले no, I'll be there. So that is the type of commitment in academia RGPV and especially Sanjeev Sharma sir has. Also, Saurabh Jain sir has been, I've been after him, and he has been committed, though he had a very important call. But today, a very important session which we want to take a deep dive in data science, and also we'll be covering aspects of NLP. These are the things for with which the computer science students keep running away. But Saurabh rightly said that these are things which are important for the kids to go deeper and have some awareness and knowledge about. So once again, I welcome Saurabh Jain, sir, and on the show. Shikha, your welcome remark on behalf of students of Career Pathshala, and then we go ahead.
Namaskar and good afternoon to all the viewers, and a very warm welcome to Mr. Saurabh Jain, technical expert of data factors from Persistent. I'm Shikha Mishra from third year EC branch. Data science and NLP has changed the way we interact with computers, and it will continue doing so in future. We are delighted to have you, sir, here. It would be a great opportunity for the students who see their future job aspects in the same field. We are happy and enthusiastic to hear you, sir. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you, Shikha. Now I request some opening remarks from Professor Sanjeev Sharma sir, Director School of IT. And before we have our speaker coming and giving insight about the knowledge, sir, welcome again, and your opening remarks for Career Pathshala. Dr. Sanjeev Sharma sir, आपके opening remarks. Sir, your voice. Sorry, sir. I think you need to go closer. Yes, or yes.
Yes. You are getting my voice.
हाँ सर, अब बेटर है सर. थोड़ा सा कम है हालांकि. आप शायद मोबाइल से हैं तो आप हाथ में ले लें. That is better. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. On behalf of the state, the academic fraternity, students and teachers, the technical education system of Madhya Pradesh, I really welcome Mr. Saurabh Jain to enlighten all of us, not only students, all the teaching fraternity, which are lacking the knowledge of the what industry is required. So I hope that your lecture, your presentation, your address will be helpful for me or for all teachers and students, for me to decide to devise new system of education in NLP and the data sciences. One thing I want to share with you that we are the first university, and my institute is the first institute who introduced data science, postgraduate in data science, first time in India. And after my designing of that course, AICT has adopted that course. So in year of 2011, we have started, 2009, we have started MTech in data science. With the help of at that time, there was a company, EMC Square. EMC Square has cooperated us to develop this course, and they have provided experts. So most of the teachers of my department, most of the teachers of computer science fraternity, I think 500 plus teachers got certified in different kind of cloud certifications and all. So I know what is the requirement of this data science in industry, what is the importance of a student to understand the importance of this data science. I really welcome and I really thank you, Mr. Saurabh, for sparing your precious time for us. Thank you so much. Over to you, Anuj.
Sure, sir.
Thank you,
And
Professor.
thank you so much, sir. And it's really an honor. And honestly, I'm a person who's very honest and candid. I called you and you are here. That's the biggest thing a student
Amit,
can have from the.
Amit, this is my job actually.
So we are fortunate that the new education system is having people like you and our honorable vice chancellor who are just a call away. So Saurabh sir, all the context is set, and we all, as sir has said, the academic fraternity always is learning from industry, and we feel pride in what industry and Persistent in particular has been contributing towards continuous learning. And हमारा इंटेंशन यही है कि हम आईटी में इंडिया को लीड करें, एक सुपर पावर बनाएं, सो दैट not only आत्मनिर्भर but we can create a good talent which undoubtedly no other country can create with the type of population we have, and the students who are watching us can get benefited. It is definitely, viewers, a bit of we are going deeper into data science. We have few sessions on data science, but we really want to touch on NLP. Saurabh sir will definitely would not go very deep, but on application point and help you. Data science and NLP is not something very big. You can easily do it. It's the way you look at. So no better than Saurabh sir from Persistent could take this topic. So we thought of having him at the show. So thank you again, Saurabh sir, and all yours. Handing it over for your talk and opening remarks, sir.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Anuj. Thank you, Professor Sanjeev, and thank you, Shishika, for introducing me. So, for sure, I know a lot many people of you. So I'm talking for the students. A lot many people of you are already excited about the fields of artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, natural language programming, natural language understanding, computer vision. The topics are endless, and with the amount of coverage these topics are getting these days, everyone and anyone has some kind of opinion on these topics. That opinion could be correct, that opinion could be hyped, or that opinion could be even for technical folks who are in this field since very long, the opinions differs from person to person, and it's not a single opinion that everyone has on these topics. So I prefer to have three things covered today. So the talk that I'm going to give to you, I usually take 1 to 2 hours minimum to give that talk. But I'll try to cover data science in brief. I'll try to cover natural language also. And then I'll also show you some of the examples. The best way to understand any topic is using some examples. And then let's see how much time we are left to cover the questions and answers as well. I'll try my best to make sure that there is time for questions and answers as well. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, Dr. Anuj, if you can confirm me that if you are able to see my screen. Hello. You are on mute.
Sorry. Yes, we can see you also and the screen also. And
Great. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So I'll skip my introduction that has already been given. Okay. And as I was stating earlier, my basic aim is to entice you in the data science as a career. Many of you must have heard this term or have read this term. Data scientist, the sexiest job of the 21st century. This was way back in 2012, an article published in Harvard Business Review. Which is the second fastest growing profession. Data scientist is the second fastest growing profession in as per LinkedIn survey. And if you can guess which is the top one, the top one is machine learning. The second one is data science. And then McKinsey, the global leader in consultancy, and Amazon. So the main players in the industry are saying that there is a 50% gap in the supply of proper understanding students who properly understand data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning. In fact, I was in board of studies of Raisoni College in Nagpur a couple of weeks back, and they have started a full curriculum, a full 4-year curriculum on data science and machine learning. So that's the extent to which people are focusing on these areas. And my aim is basically to entice you to pursue your path and your career in data science. So this is where we are in terms of data science. So if you see this Gartner hype cycle, so this is natural language question answering. So natural language programming, natural language understanding, question answering. These are at the highest peak of inflated expectation as of now. So as per the industry, this is as the most highest point in terms of hype. So that's where we are. And then and that's what I really want to talk about today. Okay, so deep learning as well is there, which is just one more way of getting things done. So what's the data science? So basically, you can read all this from any typical Google search. All this is very bookish, advanced statistical tools to existing data to generate new insights. I'll skip this because this is very well available on internet. But the way I really think about data science is the process of going from data to wisdom. What is data? Singular data and observation. So if I just tell you a word or a number 12, so number 12 is just a data. What is information? So data in context is an information. So if I tell you 12 degrees Fahrenheit, then you can make sense of that thing very well. So now you understand that we are talking about temperature here. What is the knowledge? Information in context. So 12 degrees Fahrenheit today at 7:30 a.m. in Somerville, Oregon. So when I tell this complete thing, so this becomes the complete knowledge. So when information has a context, here the information is 12 degrees Fahrenheit and the context is 7:30 a.m. and Oregon, that means that becomes the complete knowledge. And what is the wisdom? When you apply the knowledge that you have received and you put it into something, that becomes the wisdom. So here the wisdom is I need to put on a coat when I go out because 12 degrees Fahrenheit is very cold. So it all started from the particular datum, the data that you had, the one single point that you had, and it all reached to wisdom. Now anything and everything that gets done between data and wisdom is data science. So machine learning alone is not data science. Artificial intelligence alone is not data science. The entire pipeline, when we start with data and when we reach to wisdom, is data science. So yeah, this is one very good Venn diagram to really understand what data science is the combination of three other fields. So computer science, mathematics, and domain expertise. Anyone and everyone who says that they want to become a good data scientist, they need to really concentrate on all these things. So I know most of you guys are doing computer science as engineering in your curriculum. Some of you must be doing mathematics as well in your curriculum. And people are focusing on either of these areas. And then domain expertise, I don't think students do really get a lot of domain experience while they are in engineering. They get it only when they join the industry. So if you really want to become a good data scientist, you need to have a good hold on all these three fields: computer science, mathematics, and domain expertise. You cannot call yourself a good data scientist unless you are experienced in all these three things. Okay, now let's come to the elephant in the room: natural language processing. Again, I'll give you a bookish definition to it. It's a subfield of linguistics, computer science, information engineering, artificial intelligence, all things combined, concerned with the interaction between computers and humans. And if you can simply state that, what it means is it's an ability of a computer program to understand human language. Let me give you one example. All of us use Alexa, Siri, Google Assistants on day-to-day basis. This is a very good typical example of natural language processing in play in the actual environment where consumers are directly using it. So for Siri, Google Assistant, all these things, it is natural language processing which is at play at the background, which is doing all this magic in the front. Okay. So typically, how does a man and a machine interact? Human talks to a machine captures the audio to text conversion takes place, processing of text data takes place, so processing of text data means going from that data to wisdom. Data to audio conversion takes place. The machine responds to the human by playing that audio file. So typically that's what's happening. So that's what's happening in Siri, that's what's happening in Google Assistant and all those things. And let me tell you one more thing. Both natural language processing and machine learning are not really new. The hype is new, the buzzword is new, the applications that are being developed on them are new, but that field itself is very old. In fact, it's as old as 1950s and 1960s. So let me give you one example of natural language processing, which was done in 1950s. So this is a biblical sentence. So biblical sentence means coming from a Bible. The spirit is willing. I hope you're able to see it. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And when this result was converted into Russian and then back to English, conversion of language is again natural language processing. So when this was done, the sentence converted into the vodka is good, but the meat is rotten. So as you can see, the complete meaning of the sentence has completely changed. There is no relation to what it was there before. And from those days of this type of conversion, we have reached where we are saying to Google Assistant, ki please play me Amitabh Bachchan songs. What are the best songs as of today? What is the temperature in Nagpur? Which is the best college in Bhopal? All these things are being understood very well by the computer and they are able to respond it. So this is from where we have
come. This was done by a computer at that time, 1950. तो उस समय तो computer रहा नहीं होगा. So this is the translators doing it.
Yes. So algorithms. Okay. So this is basically an algorithms which were deployed to do this.
Okay. So it's quite interesting. You got a good example for students.
Yes. So the reason for putting this example is this is where we were. And the current point that we have reached. And I really want to stress to this point that machine learning, artificial intelligence is not something new. It is there since very long. What is new is the ability of a computer to consume the amount of data that is being generated today. In earlier times, the data was not getting generated as far as it is generated today. In one day, we are generating today as much data as we have generated in past history, before 2000. Entire human history I'm talking about. Okay, this is the amount of data we are generating today. And now computers have the ability based on RAM processing power and based on hard disk and the algorithms that have been developed that are really able to consume that data and then churn out the output as we want it. Okay. Now, let me tell you a few of the challenges that NLP possesses. If you guys, if in your college or if in any college a student comes from South India, how difficult is for that person, for that student to really understand Hindi? It takes him time, and even after 4 years, spending 4 years in Bhopal or central India, it takes time for him to properly converse in Hindi. So if a human is taking so much time to understand the language, that is the same process, that is the same difficulties we are facing with machines to make it understand what humans are saying. All of you are computer science students. You know very well what is the language of computers. It's a binary, right? Zeros and ones. Now, whatever I'm saying right now, converting it into a text and then understanding the text, computer needs to do all that in binary. And that's why the nature of human language makes very difficult for NLP. NLP is really, I mean, last 5-10 years, NLP has come up in a big way. There are so much research papers being generated in NLP. I have a slide for that as well. I'll show it then. Okay, I'll skip these challenges further because I want to really stress on some few more things. Some keywords around NLP. Sorry, you won't be able to understand everything that is being shown here, but in terms of keywords, at least you should know that when anyone is talking around natural language processing, these are the things that will come into play. The optical character recognition, lemmatization, parsing, TF-IDF, topic modeling, semantics, phonetics, words and disambiguation, and all those things. So when anyone really does any research in this area, or even if he creates a application, he will have to do all this. Okay. Lemmatization. Let me skip this part. Okay. Let me tell you something about named entity recognition. You will be able to understand what I'm saying. So given a sentence or a keyword, let me show this using an example. That's even a better way of understanding. Okay, so the site seems to be down. Let's hope it comes back again. I'll show you once it reaches there.
So guys, this is all about IT, and it's all Saurabh is trying to give you things online, and it takes sometimes a bit of time to give a live example. So this is how IT world works in an industry pattern.
Yeah, when things are expected to be broken, they will certainly break at the most wrong time.
That is the right time, actually. Yes.
Okay, here you see. Okay. So I'm showing this demo. This is the site of Spacy. Spacy.
Friends, the depth of this language and this you may not find in your coaching classes and all. So Saurabh is taking this special interest so that viewers can actually feel and know what is it all about. So thank you, Saurabh, for this, and yes, all yours.
Okay. Yeah. So this is years and years of efforts from where I'm able to say all these things. So this is Spacy. Spacy is state-of-art library available for natural language processing. Okay. So most of you or some of you have already heard of libraries like scikit-learn. And then in your daily programming, there are typical libraries from C++, C#, Java, all those things. So just treat Spacy as one of those libraries that helps us do natural language processing. Now, this is a text. Okay. When Sebastian Thrun started working on self-driving cars at Google 2007, all these things. When we give this text to this library, and in just few milliseconds, that library is churning out the output and saying us that in this paragraph, in this couple of paragraphs, Sebastian Thrun is a person. Google is an organization. 2007 is a date. American is a location. Earlier this week is also a date. A decade later is also a date. Now, if you can just judge the capability of this library and capability of natural language processing, you can say that isse kya hota hai? What happens by knowing all these things? I'll give you one example. So suppose you guys create your own resume, right? Once you send those resumes to companies, they get thousands and thousands of resumes, and they really need either they can have a person sitting and reading all those resumes one by one, or they use these libraries. They create an application which is able to pass those resumes and get the exact keywords that we want. And once we know those keywords, from those 1,000 resumes, we can potentially shortlist 10 and 20 resumes, which we really need to work on. So this is one example that you will understand, but there are tons of other examples in which industry is using such kind of algorithms. Okay, so that's an example of NER, and that's what comes from natural language processing. I'll skip this part. These are too technical. Bag of words, tokenization, stop words removal is fine. Spamming. So if I have time, I'll cover this at the end. Otherwise, I'm skipping them for now.
So
Okay,
what is the relevance, like NLP we are talking about? So how in data science this is a key enabler, या ये कैसे contribute करता है data science को उस जगह तक, उन applications तक ले जाने में? अगर मैं एक broad way में पूछूं सर, because yes, definitely you are going into technical, but a generalized thing, NLP का क्या usage है, या why it is important in data science?
We are exactly on that slide right now.
Great.
Everyone uses search. No one in the world, no one in the literate world as of today who is not aware of Google. We are using Google on daily basis. NLP is one of the most important factors for Google search to be performing so well as of today. So Google in background. So in 2017, so everyone knows that in 2000 Google was launched. They had started using PageRank as an algorithm to search. In 2017, they have started using a natural language processing library called BERT, which they had only developed. And that library is much more capable of Google's existing PageRank algorithm to understand our search queries and respond to them. Okay? So Google is one of the main persons who is mostly interested and is applying natural language processing. So Google ka search he is using. Let me give you one more example. Language translation applications such as Google Translate, that's also natural language processing. Everyone uses Microsoft Word and tools like Grammarly, where we are correcting the grammatical mistakes of our text. That is also natural language processing. Sentiment analysis, determine what customers are saying about a service or product. So Amazon Pay, when we click on some product, it shows us positive feedbacks, it shows us negative feedbacks. There is no person sitting in Amazon in the background for each and every product. There is no one sitting there and doing ki this is the most positive response, this is the most negative response. They have lakhs and lakhs of products, and for each product they have hundreds of reviews. So those lakhs multiplied by hundreds of reviews becomes billions and trillions of reviews to be evaluated. All those reviews are being done and evaluated using sentiment analysis, and that's also natural language processing. Everyone uses Gmail. In Gmail, Gmail itself helps us find the spam and not spam, right? That finding of spam is again natural language processing. Government of India is talking to Facebook, Twitter on daily basis, saying that this is the kind of content you need to remove. This is the kind of content should not be present. You all know what kind of content should not be there on Facebook and Twitter. Now, in order to remove those explicit content and this fake news is, Facebook, Twitter, both these organizations are using natural language processing to tag that content, to find the extract, to find that exact relevance, and to find the exact topic that they are talking about, and then removing it. So this companies, Facebook, Twitter, they have few hundreds and thousands of employees. They are working on their core product. They don't have lakhs of employees to curate billions and trillions of Twitter feeds and Facebook updates. They don't have that time, and they cannot spend that much resources on that. So in this slide itself, how many companies have I covered? I have covered Google, I have covered Microsoft, I have covered Amazon, I have covered Facebook, and I have covered Twitter. Do you know any other big companies than these companies in information technology as of today? Right?
Almost all you have covered, the leaders. LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn definitely uses, LinkedIn again uses NLP to screen or generate. When we upload a resume there, it uses natural language processing to find the most relevant keywords and then apply or write those keywords in the form that they want to process or give it to the companies. So LinkedIn itself uses these things. So if now a point is this, key, the most important companies in the world are using natural language processing to get their things done. So you can imagine the importance of natural language processing in general and data science and artificial intelligence in general, कि उसका importance क्या है. My main point is that
if you want to be in the top ladder of the enjoying the top of the IT wave, NLP would be your board which can take you to that wave at the top, and you can enjoy the high tide, and you can just be. So NLP would be a great enabler and a very good technology where students should focus and take their career. तो सर एनएलपी सीखने के लिए क्या बेसिक्स होने चाहिए? जैसे एक स्टूडेंट एनएलपी को सीखना चाहता है, ये टॉपिक ऐसा होता है कि लॉट ऑफ टाइम इवन नॉट वेरी गुड गाइडेंस वी कैन गेट फ्रॉम द एकेडमिया वर्ल्ड. तो हाउ एज अ यंग स्टूडेंट ऑफ एन आईटी ब्रांच, एज अ कॉलेज स्टूडेंट, वो उसको सीख सकता है? कुछ ऑनलाइन रिसोर्सेस या आपका कुछ एक उस पर शेयरिंग करें. जस्ट इंटरप्टिंग यू इन बिटवीन ऑन दिस.
Sure. Sir. Okay. Yeah, I'll come to that point in a second. I just wanted to cover a few more applications where NLP is using chatbots. Everyone is using chatbot. Chatbot is a very good example of NLP. Alexa, Siri, Cortana, Google Assistant, I've already talked about. The interactive voice response that you call some agency and then you hear some keywords, words being said. There is a robot talking to you, not an actual human. That's all. That is also using NLP. Okay. So application wise, I think we are covered. I hope you understand the importance of this. There is one more interesting thing for NLP for students. Okay. Don't only think about jobs, also think about research. So जिस एरिया में सबसे ज्यादा रिसर्च हो रहा होता है, that is the area that is next going to be a prime area for industries. ठीक है? So your professor must have also already told you about this. कि in order to really understand what's going to happen in future, you should understand कि in last 5 years में किस area पे research सबसे ज्यादा हो रहा है. So in 1978 or in 1998, there were around 0 number of research papers on NLP. Today, there are 500, 600 papers on NLP being generated every year. Okay? So that helps you understand. Now, some of the things that you were talking about, sir, where are the sources to learn NLP? These are some of the sources. First, let me start with Indian content. So Analytics Vidya. I hope many of you know what Analytics Vidya is. This was started few years back by a Indian person. It covers and it publishes articles, not in NLP only. It covers articles on artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, and all such things on daily basis. It also creates hackathons that everyone and anyone in the world can participate. I highly recommend you go to Analytics Vidya today. Start reading articles on Analytics Vidya. Their articles are very, very cleanly written and they are very should I say, ki even a layman person can understand what is being talked about there. Obviously, you need to know a bit of background in terms of machine learning, artificial intelligence. So analytics vidya, the most important for Indian students, I'll say. Okay? Apart from that, there are specialization courses being conducted by Stanford professors, by John Hopkins professors. Stanford, MIT, everyone knows these colleges, right? आज की डेट में Stanford professor is teaching you machine learning for free. He's whatever he's teaching you for free, that is exactly the same course that he has taught in Stanford to his students in live classes. There is no difference between the two courses. And I'm saying this with authority. I have done my master's in data science from Indiana University. Those professors from Indiana University have also taught me machine learning, NLP, and cloud computation and all those things. The content is exactly same. इससे ज़्यादा क्या चाहिए? एक स्टैनफोर्ड प्रोफेसर तुमको फ्री में मशीन लर्निंग, डीप लर्निंग समझा रहा है, and that content is available as of today, easily consumable on Coursera. What else do you want? Now it's only up to you how well you use that content. Okay, so Coursera, Analytics Vidya, Udemy, Udacity, all these sites, so massive online open courses. So that's what the term being used for these courses. These are all open courses. Many of them are free. Use it, consume it. There is absolutely no need for any certifications or costly certifications to be done. You can learn all these things from here for free. But learning is not enough. I mean, you can keep learning from these courses and you can spend your entire life and just by learning. That's not enough. What else you really need to do is, once you have spent some decent amount of time learning the basics of all those things, you really need to start participating in hackathons. I participate in hackathons. Last year, Persistent, there was a hackathon. I used machine learning and NLP, and my team won there. Because once you start using machine learning and NLP, the things that were not possible earlier are now possible today. Usse you can very well win those hackathons. So now, which hackathons you should do? One of the most important ones is Kaggle. Now, the excellent thing about this hackathons is the data set is provided to you free of cost. The CPU, GPU that you need to use to run your code, that is provided you free of cost. The idea for the problem statement and that idea, the latest and greatest ideas where the industry is struggling, or from where the academic media is struggling, that is provided you free of cost. Once that hackathon is over, some of these hackathons websites, they also give you the solution free of cost. अभी इंडिया में हमको फ्री की चीजें पसंद है. Coursera is providing, Analytics Vidya is providing all those courses for free. Hackathons are providing solutions for free and the data sets for free. You have everything and anything to learn on data science, machine learning, and to move forward. Now, let me tell you one more thing. I am in this industry for 14 plus years now. When you come to me for an interview, and if you tell me that I participated in this hackathon and I got a rank of 20,000, do you think I care you got a rank of 20,000 or 10,000 or what? Just your participation and your inclination towards learning, and you're showcasing that you were able to really solve a problem, a genuine industry problem, using actual data. That is enough for you to separate out from the rest of your colleagues. Someone would say, I have done my engineering, these are my marks. And the other person would say, I have done my engineering, these are my marks. And I participated in these hackathons and I've completed these courses. You yourself judge whom I will take in my company. Okay. Now there's one more thing
Very
that you need to. Sorry. Yes. Go ahead, Anuj.
Nothing. I'm saying very true, sir. During the interview process, students at times feel that mentioning something just a participation level, or sometimes what would be the extra thing if I am doing a hackathon, ये कितना मेरे मदद करेगा नहीं करेगा. So you rightly said the perspective what students should also understand that from where the economy is now a research based economy, जो आपने बहुत अच्छे से कवर किया. गॉन आर डेज जहाँ कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी होती थी कि आपके पास पैसा है तो आप पैसे से और पैसा बनाओ. मार्क जकरबर्ग के पिताजी कितने बड़े पैसे वाले थे, वी डोंट नो. How much Bill Gates' parents and what business class he belongs, we don't know. But the type of innovation, invention, and research they came up and brought social media all together. Like we are putting this show live on Facebook, the integrating. So research will definitely be the origin point for a lot of business to start. And जैसा सर ने बोला, आप हैकाथॉन में पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं या आप किसी एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट्स को करते हैं. आज जो व्यूअर्स कैरियर पाठशाला में हैं, मे बी फॉर देम लॉट ऑफ पीपल NLP is a new topic. For some, NLP is a topic which they want to do. So all these interactions are just possible. 1 घंटे में NLP आपको सिखाया नहीं जा सकता, बट फिर भी 1 घंटे में हम अगर NLP डेटा साइंस के में कुछ अवेयरनेस लाते हैं तो समवेयर बैक ऑफ माइंड वी गेट tuned to it and we get the confidence of taking it forward. Just imagine these things come into industry before, like Saurav was in college, probably he might not have heard NLP all about, and today you are in your college, आप अपने घर बैठे हैं and you are getting an expert from who's talking about NLP. So it's really great. Yes, Saurav.
एक बात मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे, सौरभ
सर.
Yes, go ahead.
होते हैं डिफरेंट लेवल पे होते हैं, तो इसमें टीम इवेंट, इंडिविजुअल इवेंट भी कोई कंपनी कराती है हैकाथॉन?
He's talking about hackathon on there are so many hackathons happening. Dr. Sanjeev Sharma sir का क्वेश्चन है, तो सर आप ये जानना चाहते हैं कि कोई कंपनी स्पेसिफिक हैकाथॉन्स या कंबाइन हैकाथॉन?
Yes. So if you go on Analytics Vidya and if you go on machinghack.com, both these sources have company-backed hackathons. In fact, some of the hackathons on Analytics Vidya are in a way कि if you clear this hackathon and if you come in this top 3 or top 5, that company will be interested to directly take you in their enrollments. इस लेवल के भी hackathons हो रहे हैं.
So I hope that now today Analytics Vidya will get a good number of subscribers from Career Pathshala. So and
one
now
disclosure,
Sanjeev sir is knowing about it. So in next few minutes, probably all the computer science head of department will get a message that the students should be encouraged to join Analytics Vidya. So it's really sometimes we maybe our students would be aware of, but sharing this on these platforms actually works, sir. Very relevant question, Sanjeev sir, and of interest of our students.
Yeah, one disclosure, I am not so way. I don't gain by you joining Analytics Vidya. Okay.
Definitely. And it is for free.
It's only who is going to gain.
It is about the community gaining everything, the people, the students, and the right recruiter. So we go ahead with sir the next slide, and or you want to stop and talk more about how to make a better career, or?
No, I really want to tell about 2-3 more things before I wrap up this. So in order for you to really understand the things that I'm saying, why they are important, why they're used. One example that I gave you was कि Microsoft, Google, Apple, everyone is using natural language processing. Okay? We also use natural language processing to solve one of our customer problem. That customer was the largest bank in Australia region. Okay? So we had solved one of their problems, and let me say like this way. Before this, that application was deployed in that customer environment. There were 800 people doing that job, some job. Okay, I cannot explicitly tell you what job, but there were 800 people doing that job. After this application was deployed, they only needed 50 people out of those 800 people to do that job. So the things that you are hearing out in news, that artificial intelligence, machine learning is eating up people's jobs, is a right statement. But who is getting those jobs? The person who created those applications. So if you really want to have a secure job for next 5, 10, 15 years, you really need to start understanding these technologies. Gone are those days when only C++, Java programming, you were able to continuously spend your entire career on those particular things. अब ऐसा नहीं होता है. I was doing C# for a good part of my career, and I had to learn all these things on the job. I completed my master's on the job. The application that I'm talking about, that application was just as best application of AI in finance in 2018 worldwide by this company, the Alconics. Okay, so that's where we are also using NLP. So I just really don't want to talk about Microsoft, Google. I wanted to tell you about. So it's there in this. This diagram shows in detail the work that we had done for it. Okay, and one more thing I want to show you. Two more things. Sorry. So one is some of the libraries, state-of-art libraries that are being used in NLP are Spacy. Spacy, I show you one demo. BERT, which is Google, created by Google, used by Google. Apache OpenNLP, Stanford NLP. NLTK is one of the old natural language toolkits available. Okay, it is very old. So use any of these libraries, learn on any of these libraries if you're interested in natural language processing. And one more thing. Yeah. So you must have got very excited कि ML से ये हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है. अब तो मैं मशीन लर्निंग करूंगा और मशीन लर्निंग का ही जॉब करूंगा. हम लोग क्या सोचते हैं कि when we join any industry, तो this 70% of the part मैं मशीन लर्निंग करूंगा. ओके, एंड रेस्ट मैं ये कोडिंग करूंगा और डेटा कलेक्शन करूंगा और डेटा क्यूरेशन करूंगा. What actually happens is, if you see the reality, what actually happens is you spend around 10-20% of your time on optimizing ML algorithm. The rest of the time you spend on collecting data, refining data, cleaning data, integration, and then hosting of that machine learning model. तुमको पता है ये this picture is half cut, but he is chief data scientist of Google. So this is not I am who's speaking that. I have this exactly same opinion, but I really want to tell you from his mouth that this is what is going on in industry. And last but not the least, before I take more questions, if you really want to survive this ML onslaught, I gave an example how many people lost their jobs because of deployment of that application. And they did not really lost their jobs. Their jobs were changed to something else. But what I'm saying is that this is happening everywhere. Even Government of India is working with Persistent. Everyone is working, Government of India is working with many companies to get some of their things done faster using machine learning and things like that. So वो सब हवा में नहीं है. On the ground, they are really working. And banks, especially banks, they will not need as many people as they needed today. And that's for each and every industry. अगर एक एग्जांपल मैं दूं इंडस्ट्रियल एज का, so everyone knows ना कि पहले everyone was doing things manually, हर चीज मैन्युअली होता था. Then industrial age आया, machines came up, factories came up, people lost their jobs. Everyone who was doing those things manually, all those things were being done by the machine. This is exactly what's going to happen in knowledge economy. We are in knowledge economy as of today. Whatever machines are doing, and whatever humans are doing as of today, if machine is able to do it tomorrow, the machines will be used to do it tomorrow. So if you want to survive this onslaught, every day what you do, make sure it generates new challenges frequently. This is the way to survive ML onslaught. Now I'll leave it to you guys to figure out what it means. Okay. Professor Anuj, any other questions? Or I have some more demos. I can show them if you don't have questions.
So a couple of questions from viewers also on IBM Watson. So IBM Watson was very much in news about how they are dominating data science using AI NLP. So does they also use NLP or the very popular IBM product?
They use multiple things. IBM as a company, they are not just using NLP, but Watson definitely uses NLP. I have used and I have coded on Watson. I have used their entire platform. But what's happening is that IBM is bit of a closed ecosystem. And other players like TensorFlow or Spacey, they are much open ecosystem. So what it means is that TensorFlow has open sourced, Spacey is open sourced. There is lot of community that is following these guys. IBM, because of its closed ecosystem, they sometimes fall behind because their platform works best with their softwares. That's what's happening. I have used it. It is working well, but is not working well as against other platforms like SageMaker. If you guys know, Amazon has SageMaker as one of the machine learning platforms. Same way Google has machine learning platform. Same way Microsoft Azure. So these are the three biggest cloud players, and they individually have their own platforms. Those platforms are working better than IBM platform.
Great, sir. So Ashray Jain has a question. Shikha, can you read it for sir?
Yes, sir. So Ashray is asking, how our algorithms find such keywords that are necessary for performing any specific task? So he's asking about some brief NLP algorithm to work on.
Okay. So you want to write your own algorithm, or you want to use some of the algorithms? So let me show you some of.
So he's asking कि how algorithms find keywords. जैसे एक एल्गोरिथम में कुछ कीवर्ड्स होते हैं तो उसको कैसे ढूंढता है टू परफॉर्म सम टास्क. जैसे एलेक्सा को बोला कि प्ले अमिताभ बच्चन सॉन्ग, तो प्ले भी हो गया, अमिताभ भी हो गया, सॉन्ग भी हो गया और दो चार चीजें भी हो गई. तो वो कैसे उन कीवर्ड्स होंगे या फिर एल्गो कैसे लिखते हैं कि कुछ कीवर्ड से कुछ टास्क परफॉर्म करें. तो एक जनरल आइडिया उसका और ब्रीफ आइडिया अबाउट हाउ एनएलपी या एनएलपी एल्गोरिथम कैसे चल, हाउ इट वर्क्स. Any
I
basic
can give you an idea, but that answer would be technical because you have asked the question like that. So I will give an answer like that. So here, text to pass. DisplayC uses JavaScript, SVG, and CSS to show you how computers understand language. Okay. DisplayC uses JavaScript, SVG, and CSS to show you how computers understand language. So English में what happens is कि subject, object, predicate ऐसा होता है, right? So so based on the grammars, we identify the subject, we identify the object, we identify the predicate, we identify which is a proper noun, which is a verb. Then we understand कि if this is a verb, then its dependency object is JavaScript. Now, if understand is a verb, then its dependency object is language. So understand is a verb, language is a noun, its dependency object is language. Now, based on this complex rules and grammars, we find out which are verbs, which are nouns, and which are those things. After that, we found out which are the important keywords. Now, these are all rules, grammatical rules. But the way current machine learning libraries like Spacey, BERT are doing it, once you tell them I have these 50,000 sentences, okay? In each of these sentences, this keyword is person, this keyword is date, this keyword is organization, and this keyword is location. Okay. So similar to this, I have 50,000 sentences. I'll tell the machine all this particular keyword is that. Okay. That's how we generate the training data. Once we pass on this training data to libraries like TensorFlow, Spacey, BERT, मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिथम्स का जो बेसिक फंडा है, it understands the patterns कि if when we are saying Sebastian Thrun is a person, it understands the pattern saying कि before this keyword what was there, after this keyword what was there, what were the relationships like object, subject, predicate. The machine learning algorithm understands all those patterns in itself and it creates a model. Once that model is created, that model is used for inference to find these things. ठीक है? So initially grammar है, English grammar है, that was used in older libraries. Nowadays deep learning is used to find all those patterns, learn and then come out with these keywords. थोड़ा heavy हो गया होगा, but that's what the answer is.
सर हेवी चीजें ही ज्यादा देर तक टिकती हैं, so we have to be a bit heavy at times. So this is a repeat question. I could not probably take it in my earlier data science class. Hemant is asking that, so is it right that is it right that a career of ML developer or data scientist work experienced peeps are hired? I mean, should we start our career in other domain and then transfer to data science, or from scratch as a fresher we can be a data scientist? कि थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस होता तब लेते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि एज अ फ्रेशर ही ले लेते हैं.
No, it's completely wrong. No, that's not how it is. You can start your career in data science. Definitely you can start your career in data science, but along with data science you should be knowing programming, you should be knowing theory of computation, you should be knowing software engineering and all the things that have been taught to you in engineering. They are really important. You can start your career in data science as of today. You don't really need to have prior experience to it. Data science है कितना पुराना? Last 5-10 साल से तो हो रहा है use. Okay, in industry, in service based industry, that's what I'm talking about. Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Persistent, all these players जो अभी ML, machine learning, all those things, ये last 15 years से ही हो रहा है. So it's new for those guys as well, for these companies as well, and they are more than happy to have people starting their career in data science.
So Shikha had a similar question. She wanted to
tell me, Shikha.
You can ask again, and sir will take it too deep.
So I just wanted to ask, what subjects we should learn before making our career in both data science and NLP?
So
what are the subjects that we can learn today?
Sir ने थोड़ा सा brief किया. So as students they do lot of subjects in the syllabus. तो एक data scientist बनने के लिए कौन-कौन से subject during the college days if they can look at, maybe some on hardware architecture, networking, OS, software engineering, मतलब किस पे ज़्यादा focus करना चाहिए? और programming अगर आप बोल रहे हैं तो आजकल programming की भी बहुत flavors हैं, C, C++, Java, .NET, Python, R language, so many things are there. तो आपका एक perspective क्या है sir?
Yeah, so you're studying computer science in your college, so you're covering only this part. Okay, and even from that, what you're covering in your college right now is only this dark green part. You're not learning machine learning, you're not learning data processing, if I understand it correctly, in the normal curriculum of bachelor's of engineering. You're learning software engineering, you're learning operating system, theory of computation, software programming, and such subjects. So all these subjects becomes a good basis for computer science. For data science, the other things that you really need to learn on is machine learning, mathematics. This mathematics जो हमने 10th 12th में पढ़ा है, that's one of the basic mathematics that you need to learn, and there is some more statistical mathematics that you need to learn for data science. And then domain expertise. So domain expertise you cannot learn on your own. You really need some experienced people to do that, so that you will learn when you come to an industry. So leave that apart. Computer science, machine learning, data processing, mathematics, statistics. These are the things that you'll need to learn for a good data scientist. Now, nowhere it's mentioned cloud. So cloud is just another way where things are being hosted and platform is hosted, infrastructure is hosted, but the fundamentals of a data scientist remains the same whether you are on cloud or whether you are on premise. That does not change. So yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you saying that your current curriculum in bachelor's of engineering is not sufficient for data science. You will have to work a bit more, learn a bit more to start your career on data science, and you will have to learn machine learning, artificial intelligence, some mathematics and statistics.
And definitely through all these websites, and we can get guidance, and once you get into the industry you can definitely look at more and more learning, and um, definitely the curriculum also keeps updating. Our universities also updating curriculum, so it's a good point you brought that there is some inputs which we can add to improvise the curriculum, more of mathematics for data science, and probably this could be an area where we can, though all the engineering subjects में पहला year maths पढ़ाया जाता है. When we did engineering, we also were brought into those
Yes,
calculus and again, but we don't take it that seriously. Maths has always been our foundation, and so it's always good to go back and relate and take this forward. Dr. Sanjeev Sharma sir,
one more thing.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, Saurabh sir.
Everything that you are learning in bachelor's of engineering today is not. I'm not saying that that is not useful. That becomes the basis of computer science. You cannot do data science before you know the basics of computer science. So don't treat all those subjects as something not important. वो सब important है. वो सब learning के बाद data science आएगा. So it's not like
ये लैंग्वेज की बहुत लड़ाई होती है कि जावा सीखने की, आर सीखने की, पाइथन सीखनी है. तो प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में आपका क्या इनपुट है कि
see if since this topic current discussion is focused on data science, then Python and R are the most important languages that are being used in data science. Python is being used 70-80%, R is being used 10-20%. R is older than Python in terms of data science related packages. That's why R is still being used. But Python में क्या होता है कि Python is a very good programming language. So it becomes easy for Python developers to code as well, to build applications as well, and do data science work as well. Now this becomes an answer for data science. In general, please don't get hooked on to any language in particular. It does not work that way. If you learn C++ or if you learn Java today, that does not mean for next 50 years you can spend your career just doing programming on C++ or Java or C# or Python, whatever. Take this from me, it is not going to work out that way. It has not worked out for me. It has not worked out for anyone in the industry. ऐसा किसी से you cannot survive like this. You cannot just learn one language and you hope to work for next 20-30 years. So the answer to that is learn the basics of languages, and then you should be ready to adopt any language as and when needed.
True, sir. True, very true. So, any questions, Dr. Sanjeev sir? आपका कोई इनसे सर से question? We went through the entire data science, NLP, and the importance.
Yes. मेरा एक बहुत important question है. मैं इनसे personally बात करके कुछ ऐसे एलिमेंट लेना चाहता हूँ जो कि हम अपने पूरे कंप्यूटर साइंस और आईटी करिकुलम में उसको डाल सकें, जो कि मोस्ट इफेक्टिव है, तो जिससे कि सारी की सारी जो हमारी स्टूडेंट कम्युनिटी है वो बेनिफिट उनको मिले.
So probably we can share the curriculum with Saurabh sir, and he can give his input, and similarly we can take inputs from other people who are into data science, and your feedback, Saurabh, will definitely be a benefit for a lot of student community. So taking forward, like how is the future? Data science अभी आगे आपको क्या लगता है? अभी तो आपने जो बताया है वही बहुत खतरनाक है. तो आगे how this is going to be a social, economical, bio war, or maybe a technology, and how data science is going to impact from Modi election to everything in the world around. क्या लगता है आपको? संजीव सर, पहले मैं आपके कमेंट देना चाहूंगा डेटा साइंस पे कि क्या फ्यूचर लगता है, और फिर हम सौरभ सर पर जाएंगे।
बिल्कुल,
देखिए मेरे हिसाब से तो जो आईटी इंडस्ट्री में फ्यूचर ही डेटा साइंस पर है, क्योंकि जितना हैवी डेटा हम जनरेट कर रहे हैं, इतने बिजनेस, हर किस्म के बिजनेसेस जो है उस डेटा को पकड़ के उसमें से कुछ रूल जनरेट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं अपने बिजनेस बढ़ाने के लिए, अपने बिजनेस को सस्टेन करने के लिए, अपने बिजनेस को कंटिन्यू करने के लिए। तो इसमें डेटा साइंटिस्ट की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत लगेगी। इसी विजन के साथ हमने 2009 में हमने डेटा साइंस का कोर्स चालू किया था, और वो बहुत सक्सेसफुल कोर्स था। उसके पास आउट्स बहुत अच्छे जगह काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं, उनसे फीडबैक मुझे मिलता रहता है। पर अभी बहुत कुछ होना है, क्योंकि हमारा आउटपुट जो आ रहा है वो जो इंडस्ट्री के रिक्वायरमेंट है उसको मैच नहीं कर रहा है, हम उनको वो दे नहीं पा रहे हैं। तो हम इंडस्ट्री के साथ मिलके वो डिवाइस करें सिस्टम को, जिसमें कि इंडस्ट्री के रिक्वायरमेंट से इनलाइन होकर हम उनको अपने प्रोडक्ट दे पाए। बिकॉज प्रोडक्ट इज नॉट ए करेक्ट वर्ड, बट है तो है, मतलब ये मैं चाहता हूँ कि इसमें इंडस्ट्री का बहुत एक्टिव सपोर्ट बहुत जरूरी है।
Exactly.
Yes.
So Saurabh, your comments on future and how this is going to be impact.
Yeah. Generally, I lean on the shoulders of giants in order to answer such questions. So I'll give you answer in two ways. Name any big company in the world, and I can tell you that they are using data science and how they are using data science. So if best minds in the world are using data science, that's enough of proof to understand the future of data science. ठीक है, अगर गूगल सोच रहा है, अगर माइक्रोसॉफ्ट सोच रहा है, अगर माइक्रोसॉफ्ट फेसबुक सोच रहा है, and they are using data science in and out every day as a core product of their company, तो आप बहुत इजी अंदाजा लगाना कि डेटा साइंस का फ्यूचर क्या है। अगर बेस्ट माइंड्स इन द वर्ल्ड ये सोच रहे हैं तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि डेटा साइंस का फ्यूचर क्या है। नाउ आई विल गिव यू नेक्स्ट एनालॉजी। द richest man in India, who is that? Mukesh Ambani. मुकेश अंबानी का प्राइमरी बिजनेस क्या था? पेट्रोकेमिकल्स, ऑयल, एनर्जी, राइट? पर अभी सारा न्यूज, इफ यू आर फॉलोइंग ऑल द न्यूज दैट्स गोइंग ऑन राइट नाउ, उन्होंने अभी जो मल्टीपल $billion इन्वेस्टमेंट लाया है, कौन से प्रोडक्ट पे लाया है? जियो पे लाया है। जियो इज नॉट क्या बोलते हैं, जियो इज नॉट ऑयल एनर्जी, जियो इज टेलीकॉम। हाँ, सो जियो में जो इन्वेस्टमेंट आया है, द वे इट हैज सोल्ड टू एवरीवन, what he has sold to everyone is कि now I'm going to get lots and lots of consumers. When I get lots of consumers, I'm going to get lots and lots of data from them, and when I get lots and lots of data from them, I'm going to be the biggest player in this India for influencing customers for their purchasing decisions. तो जियो सबसे बड़ा इन्फ्लुएंसर बनना चाहता है, वो डेटा कलेक्ट कर रहा है सो दैट, तो अगर मुकेश अंबानी इंडिया का बेस्ट बिजनेसमैन, इंडिया का रिचेस्ट पर्सन, इफ ही इज इनटू डेटा साइंस, डू यू नो व्हाट द वे मुकेश अंबानी सेज व्हाट डेटा इज? फॉर मुकेश अंबानी oil is the most important thing, right? Mukesh Ambani says data is the new oil. That's the importance of data and data science for Mukesh Ambani. Now I've given you two examples, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, इनके लिए इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है डेटा साइंस का, और मुकेश अंबानी के लिए इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है डेटा साइंस। तो फिर नाउ यू कैन क्लियरली अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट्स द फ्यूचर ऑफ डेटा साइंस।
हम सब के लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है फिर।
Exactly.
So Saurabh, just before we close down, we just also wanted to know your journey. आप कहाँ से हैं? A bit of connect students had to make, and how was your schooling, college days, and how you see जब fresher अभी join करते हैं तो क्या है वो आपका एक observation on the students and how you're seeing the change happening, and what message you can give? 3-4-5 चीजें मैंने बोल दी। So So how was your journey where you are now?
Yeah, sure. I graduated in 2006.
आप हिंदी में भी बोल सकते हैं, हमारे व्यूअर्स को आप हिंदी में बोलेंगे तो अच्छा लगेगा.
मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ.
हिंदी इन इंग्लिश.
ठीक है. मैं 2006 में विश्वेश्वरैया नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी VNIT नागपुर से ग्रेजुएट हुआ था इन कंप्यूटर साइंस. Before that, I had electronics in 11th and 12th, and before that, I was in a CBSE school in Nagpur. So that's my journey till engineering. After engineering, I joined Persistent, and I'm in Persistent in last 14 years. It's difficult to find people who are in the same company for as many years as I have been in. As of today, everyone हर 2-3 साल में स्विच मार रहा है. मैंने वो नहीं किया. एंड 2 साल पहले इन 2018 मैंने मास्टर्स इन डेटा साइंस कंप्लीट किया फ्रॉम इंडियाना यूनिवर्सिटी, along with my work, along with 2 children that I have, and along with my wife's pregnancy. And when you join an industry, आपको पता रहेगा कि अगर किसी प्राइवेट कंपनी में या फिर किसी आईटी प्राइवेट कंपनी में इफ यू आर वर्किंग तो कितना प्रेशर होता है. तो मेरा मैसेज स्टूडेंट्स को ये है कि अगर 2 बच्चों के साथ, एक बीवी के साथ, इंडस्ट्री के प्रेशर के साथ मैं मास्टर्स कर सकता हूँ इन डेटा साइंस, तो आप लोगों के ऊपर उतना कोई प्रेशर है नहीं. अभी आपका अपना टाइम अभी बहुत अच्छा यूज़ कर सकते हो. जितना फ्री कंटेंट आज की डेट में अवेलेबल है ऑनलाइन उतना कभी नहीं था. मैं जब 2006 में ग्रेजुएट हुआ था ये सब कुछ नहीं था. डेटा साइंस, मशीन लर्निंग, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, उसकी इतनी बातें नहीं होती थी. फ्री कंटेंट तो बहुत दूर की बात. तो जितना कंटेंट अवेलेबल है, जितना एक्सेस आपको अवेलेबल है, आपके प्रोफेसर्स अवेलेबल है, उन सबको भी पता है इस सब चीज़ों का इंपॉर्टेंस. आपके ट्रेनिंग एंड प्लेसमेंट डिपार्टमेंट को पता है. इंडस्ट्री में आप किसी से बात कर सकते हो, आप किसी को अप्रोच कर सकते हैं. आप मुझे लिंक्डइन पे आप मुझे मैसेज भेज सकते हैं, आई विल रिप्लाई टू यू. सो इतना सब अवेलेबल होने के बाद मुझे कोई सेंस नहीं बनता है कि आप ना सीखें. ओके अगर आप नहीं सीखेंगे तो आप इतने पीछे छूट जाएंगे कि आप इररिलेवेंट हो जाएंगे. इसलिए मैंने भी सीखा है और मैं सबको वही सलाह देता हूँ कि आप नेवर स्टॉप लर्निंग. दैट्स द ओनली वे टू सर्वाइव. एक बहुत अच्छे ऑथर है अभी, युवल नोवेल हरारी. उन्होंने 3 बुक्स लिखी हैं, सेपियंस और होमो डिवस एंड होमो सेपियंस. उन्होंने लिखा है कि जो हम पिछले 100 सालों में अचीव करते थे वो आजकल हम 10-10 साल में करेंगे, और आगे आने वाले समय में जो हम 10-10 साल में आज कर रहे हैं वो 1-1 साल में करेंगे. तो जब इतना फास्ट दुनिया चेंज होगा तो अगर आपने सीखना नहीं सीखा तो आप पीछे छूट जाएंगे. So only one message for everyone: never stop learning.
Very great. इस बुक का काफी जिक्र होता है. It's in one of my collections, and Harari is one of the great influencer now. So after Sapiens, Homo Deus is in my kitty to just learn, and a very, very important book students should definitely read about. So we are great and honored to have you, and we can recollect कि आनंद देशपांडे सर ने हमारी कैरियर पाठशाला में when he came, and he brought a lot of inputs, and the way we had him, and हमको वो याद आता है कि हाँ सर हमारे बीच थे. And now having you, so our career pathshala, the keynote address and our inauguration was done by Dr. Anand Deshpande sir, and definitely Persistent is a company which will not let you leave, and you will always never you will never think of leaving Persistent, because the type of leadership and the type of Indian IT culture Persistent brings is really phenomenal, and very humble and very simple people with great knowledge like you. We really find people like this in Persistent, and we really thank you and feel honored that NLP was a topic which I was very much concerned of. We are going to go deeper, but the way आपने इसको देखा, the audience, this topic at least need 3 to 4 hours of deep diving and explanation. But हमने इसको आपको इसलिए दिया ताकि आप इसको इग्नोर मत करिए, आप इस टॉपिक को से डरिए मत, just face it and go deeper. So Saurabh has been really, you played the master stroke और बच्चों को, we are getting very good comments also from the viewers about the program. So before we leave, मैं अपने गुरु हमारे जो डॉक्टर संजीव सर है, who has also been my guide and my mentor, मैं सर से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ for his closing remarks for the show. And I always take this opportunity to sir कि कैरियर पाठशाला आप ही की पाठशाला है, and I would definitely love to have you coming and sharing your thoughts. Dr. Sanjeev Sharma sir, Director of School of IT, Rajiv Gandhi, the State Technical University of MP. Sir, your concluding remarks.
Thank you, Anuj, for calling me in this such a great initiative made by you, and I also thank Mr. Saurabh for such an enlightening lecture. I hope कि आपका जो नॉलेज है, आपका जो ड्रेस है, जो हमारे जितने भी फेसबुक पर और बाकी प्लेटफॉर्म पर हमारे स्टूडेंट जुड़े हुए हैं, उनको इससे बहुत फायदा मिलेगा, पूरी स्टूडेंट कम्युनिटी को फायदा मिलेगा, एकेडमिक कम्युनिटी को फायदा मिलेगा, और आपका ऐसा सहयोग हमको आगे भी मिलता रहेगा, गाइडेंस मिलता रहेगा, क्योंकि हमारे स्टेट को और हमारे स्टूडेंट के बच्चों में एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी इंप्रूवमेंट करने के लिए हमको सहयोग देगा। इसी के साथ मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ अनुज को और शिखा को, सौरभ जी को और पूरी टीम जो इसके पीछे काम कर रही है। और आप हमेशा यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम अनुज to call me in such a great event. I will be very happy to be the part of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We really are obliged to have you. So, Saurabh, your final words, and then we ask Shikha to say vote of thanks.
Yes. Thank you, Professor Sanjeev. I hope I also get a chance to interact with you and you are accessible to me as well to have your guidance. Thank you, Dr. Anuj, for calling me. Thank you, Shikha, for the introduction. Thank you, everyone. It was pleasure being here.
Great, sir. So I think in this lockdown with now 3 kids, or there are 2?
2.
Great. So thank you for, we took 1.5 hours from daddy, and then definitely now they would be needing you to be there, and just being there in between is always required. So Shikha, your vote of thanks on behalf of students, and then we close.
First of all, sir, congratulations for your masters, and I'm sure that all those students who are willing towards this field, that is NLP and data science, they must have got a boost, a spark in doing and working on it on and on. And we surely mark your words that you have said, never stop learning. And thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm pretty sure that you have already enlightened our path, and with your all informative and enlightening words. And thank you so much, CII Bhopal chapter and Dr. Anuj Garg sir, for letting me in and talking with such a good personalities today. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Shikha. So कैरियर पाठशाला के इस important lecture में हम उसको विराम देते हैं. Tomorrow we have, please don't miss tomorrow's session. It will be by one of my student who was a mechanical engineer working with Google. He was with Mu Sigma and then moved to Google. Mechanical student working in Google is the key. So and he has a good experience. So we'll try to make tomorrow's session a bit more of student friendly. कि क्या थी journey, कैसे problems आते हैं, उसको भी problems आए, or how he made it, and what is the possible field which he's working and how he's taking it forward. So tomorrow at 2 p.m. we would like all of you to have all of you here. Once again, thank you, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma sir, Shikha and Saurabh Jain sir, for coming to Career Pathshala, and we try to take this journey forward ताकि maximum students इसका benefit ले सकें. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.